And for those of you who are coming across me for the first time, my name is Jen. So I'm a healer, intuitive, empath, all the things, just freaking awesome. However, the last week or so, I've been going through a spiritual upgrade, and I've actually been documenting my daily journey or daily check-ins because I realize that there are other people that are going through this process. There's a mass spiritual awakening. Let's be real about that. And there's a lot of tune-ups happening, all right, as our spiritual gifts are getting activated and elevated on new levels. And so this last week has been real, y'all. It's been real. And I'm in my kitchen because I'm more comfortable here. A little more about me. I love to cook. I like to cook, so I like to try new dishes. I like to try new cuisines. I like to bake. I love to challenge myself in the kitchen. So anyway, just a little tidbit, it's Thanksgiving Eve and I'm about to do some sweet potatoes right now. So I'm just peeling my sweet potatoes and everything. But y'all listen, I'm gonna post a video tomorrow actually. I have a video scheduled for tomorrow for my day 6 update. So this, I guess, will be a spoiler alert or precursor to that. But I finally feel that I've gotten to a point in this integration process. Okay, mind you, this is day 6 as I'm doing this live. My goodness. It is soon to come to a close. And the reason that it's been a little grueling for me is because it's really tested my old self. All right. And I want to provide a little clarity on what that looks like, because I know some of y'all are going on this journey for the first time, or maybe this is much like myself. You are actually paying attention for the first time, where you're feeling tired. I had nonstop ringing in my ear. My ear is still ringing, but it's not like off the chain like it was on day 1. Day 1, it was very persistent. It was very strong. It was kind of like a siren. And I'm like, what is going on here? Okay. And so yesterday I was feeling very tired during this spiritual upgrade period. I experienced a lot of mental fog, lacking of clarity. I wasn't able to hear spirit in the way that I was in prior channels, honestly. Like I literally had a period of time where I had to sit down. Like I literally lacked so much clarity. It was like I was operating in this gray zone. So imagine like spirit gives you a taste. I got a taste of my spiritual gifts. I got a taste of what I can do. I got a taste of what was possible, as I'm stepping into my spiritual gifts. And then out of nowhere, boom, an upgrade happens. And it's like this blackout period. Those blackout periods where everything halts and you just got to wait. You got to wait till that opening. And that is exactly what this past spiritual upgrade felt like. I had to sit down and pause. I literally was not getting, clear channels. I had a hard time connecting with my tarot cards. Like there was this disconnect, and that's very intentional, y'all. I want to clarify this to you because as you are going through an integration, your body is shedding a lot of mess. Okay. And I had to come to the understanding that as I've elevated into a higher frequency, that's the whole point of this upgrade. I've upgraded, right? And I'm operating at a higher frequency, and my body needed time to catch up. Okay. My soul and spirit is already up there, but my physical body literally needs time to catch up. It needs time to rest. It needs time to recalibrate. So this is a huge recalibration period for me. And I struggled tremendously because, once I get in tunnel vision, I go and I tend not to slow down. And so this was spirit's way of protecting me. Like, you need to slow down. You need to take a pause and let us work. Okay. Because I would have ran the risk of falling into old patterns and old versions of myself that I'm literally during this integration process actively shedding. Okay. And so what the spiritual upgrade does is essentially trigger those old parts of you. Okay. They need to come to the surface in order to be washed away. If they remain stuck and buried energetically, then what's the whole point of the upgrade? You know what I'm saying? So what I didn't want to do, and I had to check myself on this many times, y'all, I needed to come to the understanding that I cannot work against my spirit team by trying to force channels, by trying to force collective messages, by trying to force a spiritual and divine, connection that this period was meant for me to rest. And so some of you that are going through this spiritual upgrade period, I know it may be a first for you. It may be, the first time that you're really paying attention to what's happening during this period of integration. Do not be afraid of the pause. It is absolutely necessary. I was experiencing all of the emotional ups and downs, y'all. I was questioning myself. I was questioning the process. I was wondering if I did something wrong. I was wondering, like, spirit team, can you hear me? Because sometimes I just got static. All I heard was the ringing in my ear, but I wasn't hearing nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So this was a very, very challenging last 5 days for me. And if you haven't already, like I said, I've done daily check-ins via video on my channel. So you can see the progression. Some days I'm like talking slow and my energy is low. But the whole point is I need y'all to see me in this state so you can understand the progression and the evolution. Now I'm kind of like flowing, I'm flowing. Other videos, I'm like, it was not the vibe. But, today I got a little more clarity. So I'm on day 6 as I'm doing this live, and things are slowly starting to come back. So it's not going to magically be like, boom, it's done. And you just magically you can do all this stuff. There's a slow, like they're going to ease you back into the fold, ease you back into the mix where, okay, you're going to get clarity slowly. As we are closing out this integration, as we are finishing up what we are doing in the background, okay? And I also had to respect and understand the divine instruction not to force anything. And I struggled because a month ago, like maybe 4 to 5 weeks ago, I got this divine nudge out of nowhere to start my YouTube. I hadn't thought about starting YouTube. I'm not thinking about putting myself out there like that, but I got the nudge and I followed it. And here I am, and I'm just going with the flow. But then I started finding momentum. And then I got to a point where this activation process was happening, and it was like cold turkey. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to post daily? Spirit, what am I going to do? How am I going to provide value? How am I going to connect with the audience? I had all these questions, and the reality of it is Spirit had me the whole time. It's like, we're going to shift. We're going to shift. I want you to talk about your journey. And so I'm just kind of following the steps, right? Following the divine nudges. There's always an intention behind these pivots. And I am learning finally to get comfortable with those pivots and shifts, because I am a person, and I've said this in some of my other videos, I am a very analytical person. I am driven by logic, data, facts. I am that person. But within the last couple of months, I've really stepped into my intuitive side and leaned on it in ways that I never have. And so now things are ramping up, and as part of this integration and these multiple upgrades, I'm learning how to find that divine balance between my analytical logic and my intuitive. And I can't even fathom where Spirit is taking me, but I know it's somewhere great, and I'm excited about it. But these little periods, y'all, where I'm like, where I'm in a holding pattern. And I know some of y'all can relate, and you know what I'm talking about. You are in a holding pattern and you can't put your finger on why and what's happening. Like, Spirit, what is that important that I can't keep doing what I've been doing? You know, but your spirit knows, like, come on now. You get this. You get the Omar Epps meme. Okay? Like, you know why you're pausing, but your old self is being stubborn and wants to question things, wants to kind of take over, wants to force. No. So I won't ramble on. Stay tuned for my day 6 post tomorrow. I will talk about this, expand on it. But thank you, God. Thank you, God. I got confirmation that this process is almost coming to a close. This integration period it's felt brutal, but it really hasn't been. It's just that I had to check myself and stop trying to force things, which is what the energy I've operated in for a very long time. And Spirit's getting me out of that slowly. But anyway, thank y'all. And, I'm going to go ahead and get back to making these sweet potatoes. And until next check-in, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for the love that you share. Thank you in all the wonderful forms that I could possibly show my gratitude and, blessings to y'all. Have a good holiday. All right. And know that you are loved. You are so loved. Until next time. Peace, y'all. Bye. Okay, now I got to figure out how to end this video. I think I got it. Okay.